All right, let's make some colors for a pumpkin. A lot of us are going to be painting pumpkins this season. They're out and about. They're looking beautiful in orange. And how can you resist? So I'm going to start with the light area. Not the light test area, but kind of like the general white mass. Started with cadmium orange, some white, and some raw sienna just to temper down the chroma a little bit. This orange, of course, is overly chromatic. And this actually leads us in a very good direction. Maybe needs to be a little bit more red. We're going to go for this Venetian red. Okay. And this looks like it's going to be a perfect color, not for the lightest light, not for the second lightest light, but for the third. So I'm going to put it kind of over here. And then I'm going to have one lighter, another one lighter, and then we're going to mix some darks. So for the lighter one, we're going to want to add more white. And also the chroma needs to be a little bit higher. So I'm going to put more of that cadmium orange. Oh, I'm going to need to add some cadmium orange to the palette, of course. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so more. Here we go. Okay, yeah, that is way more like it. It actually needs to tip a little bit more towards yellow, so I'm going to go for some cadmium lemon here. Okay, that is gorgeous. We love that. So that's going to be lighter than that. And then the light test area of this pumpkin actually has a pinkish feel to it. So I'm going to add just a bit of cadmium red, maybe even a bit of alizarin crimson, taking it towards a little bit of a more pinkish flavor. There we go. A little bit more. All right, that is beautiful. Now let me just preemptively add more white because, oh, this is not well mixed. See all the orange at the bottom of my knife? No. We want a very well mixed color like this one. Then clean the knife, be disciplined, make sure everything is clean. So I'm just going to add a bit more white. Okay, so these are the lightest three colors. Now let's go for some middle colors and some darker colors. So for the middle, we have the lowest chroma area of the pumpkin. So we're going to put some umber in there. Going to do a great job crushing that chroma, crushing it. See, it's going very gray, much more towards just kind of a neutral brown color. And maybe we went overboard with the reduction of the chroma. Could be. Let's add a bit more yellow in here. Yeah, that's too gray. So we're going to add a bit more orange back into it. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So we're going to put that over here. And now we're going to mix some darker colors for that. So I'm going to go for burnt umber. Maybe that's overkill. Maybe we're going to go for burnt sienna instead. Burnt sienna and cadmium orange. Let's see what we get. Want to keep the chroma relatively high. So I'm going with sienna, but of course with sienna, I'm not going to get the value to be low enough. So unfortunately, we're going to have to add some of this burnt umber. Hopefully all the efforts we made are gonna help us preserve some of this delicious chroma. Need more. Wow. This is looking really beautiful, and I'm actually thinking maybe a bit more of this alizarin crimson. Gonna bring down the value, but also bring up the chroma, even if it's not the exact chroma that we need, because it's not like a dark orange, but a dark chromatic orange doesn't exist, so we're going to go with a dark chromatic red. All right, this is pretty awesome. So we love this color. And now we want one that is roughly the same value, but less chromatic. So we're just going to go with a similar recipe, but with raw umber instead of burnt umber, which is going to be lower chroma because it's kind of a yellowish color, as opposed to burnt umber that is more orangish. So as you can see, we got something of similar value, but much more neutral. It was easier to bring it down to the darks when I don't have to mess around with the sienna. Even a little bit more. Bit more. Okay, tasty. Love that. All right, now the darkest dark, just the moment that you see in the creases there. We're gonna go for black. We're gonna go for alizarin, and we're gonna go for a bit of orange, just to have a kind of punchy, dark-looking accent color. Alizarin is a lifesaver today. There we go. Warm it up. Okay, that's great. So that's gonna give us some punchy accents in terms of value. And then I want some color for punchy accents in terms of chroma. There are these moments that look super bright, super orange. I'm just mixing some cadmiums here. Oh my god, I need more. And a bit of alizarin. Just a chroma explosion of the right note that I'm gonna be able to use extremely carefully in some areas, just to, you know, level up the volume when I need to. Wow, this is perfect. Okay, let me add a bit more cadmium orange. Okay, let's mix the stem. So cleaning off this chroma bomb. The stem has much lower chroma. I'm gonna go with some yellow ochre. It's kind of like a yellowish color. I should have added some more umbers. Yeah, so this is kind of not light enough for the light and not dark enough for the darks. So let's split that bad boy in two. Let's work on them separately. So put this aside, take this over here. We're going to turn this into the light version, the light area. So we need lighter value. And we want a bit of higher chroma, just a tad. There we go, coming on it. Nice. And then there's a moment at the very bottom of this stem where it goes even lighter. So I'm gonna take a bit of that, put some white, and it goes a little bit more towards yellow. So I'm gonna put some cadmium yellow in there. Cadmium lemon, I mean. Yeah, that is exactly it. Okay, beautiful. So we got that. And then the dark area of the stem looks very similar to what we got here, but it needs to be more chromatic. So we're gonna go for some sienna, a little bit warmer. Yep, that is great. And then we're gonna make one more punchy color for when I want to express some of those deeper darks. Yeah. All right, that should cover the pumpkin. Let's add a few colors and then mix the background. Actually, before we do the background, I would like to make this color a little bit more poppy. I think this one was the first one we mixed, so it was a little hard to judge, but needs to be a little bit more red, a little bit more chromatic, a little bit darker. There we go. Okay, that's much more like it. Put it back. Okay, background's gonna be very straightforward because I put a black cloth there, which is, you know, playing the game on relatively easy mode. So we're gonna start with a gray. I usually like to start with a gray, look at how the gray compares to what's in front of me, and then ask myself, what am I missing? So in this case, I'm actually missing a kind of feeling of purple. So I'm gonna shove some alizarin into that gray, make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, you know, black fabric can look very purple depending on the kind of light that's coming in through your window or whatever light source you're using. Yeah. So that is very close to what I'm seeing in my studio today. And there are some variations on it. There's one that looks a little bit lighter, so we'll see what happens. We may just get away with adding white and that's it. Yeah, you know, that purpliness kind of remains. Maybe we'll add just a bit more. And then we got the shadow. So for the shadow, we're just gonna go black, alizarin, and maybe a little bit of red. Ooh, this is too much. Wait, I think I'm gonna add some cobalt blue. This is gonna be perfect here. All right, let's put some cobalt in there. Yeah, there we go. I didn't want to use black because it would make it too dark. Cobalt blue is the perfect thing to use now for keeping it neutral, but also not too dark. And just a little bit more black to seal the deal. Bit of umber. Okay. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like it, save it, and leave a comment. And for longer videos or live events, please feel free to join my Patreon at patreon.com/KenGoshen or by visiting the link in my bio and clicking Patreon. For lessons, please visit my website at kengoshen.com/lessons or by visiting the link in my bio and clicking lessons. Thanks again, and see you next time.